Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Inspire RN podcast. I have a change of scenery today because personally I felt like the desk with the bland walls was really boring. I mean, not like this is so much more exciting, but at least it feels more like we're sitting on the couch together instead of me lecturing you from my desk. I'm really, really excited about today's topic. And I was really excited to research and to write this episode because it's one of my favorite things to do. So here's your question. How do you feel, I guess, is the question. How do you feel about the new year? Do you feel like it's a new fresh start? Do you get excited about creating a vision board? Have you ever created a vision board? Or do you feel like the new year stresses you out? I can see it both ways. For me, I really like it because I feel like it's a fresh start. I get to wipe the slate clean of what happened last year, leave things behind, reset my goals, get really focused, dream up my vision and really pinpoint and get clear on it. But I can also see how people feel stressed or I called it the unfriendly reminder that we didn't accomplish everything that we wanted to accomplish. I am a very goal-driven person. And so for me, sometimes that can be really difficult. But again, I can see it both ways. Today, I am actually going to share with you how I prep for the new year. And then I'm going to share some exciting things that I have planned for 2025. If you are new here to the podcast, welcome. My name is Kate Avery. I am a nurse, I'm a wife, I'm a mother, I'm a student, and I'm an entrepreneur coach. And a couple of years ago, I decided to kind of step back from my nursing career and really ask myself why. Ask myself if this was aligning with what was going on in my life because I had an extremely stressful home life with 3 young children. And then I had an extremely stressful job with COVID ICU. So I had the best of both worlds and it was not working for me. I was really burned out. I was really jaded. I hated being at work. And then when I was home, I was so burned out from work and exhausted emotionally that I couldn't really give my all at home either. And that really launched me on this path of kind of self-discovery. And I read a million self-help books. I took courses and I really took the time to look inward and figure out what the heck I wanted. From that, Inspire RN was born. I created this podcast to inspire you and to motivate you to also question and make your own changes, whatever aligns with what your dreams are. And today's podcast is going to be perfect for that. So I'm here every single Friday. I will post on YouTube now with my videos, but you can also find me on Apple and Spotify, or simply just go to inspirerrn.com, check out the podcast. You can look at all my shows that I've done so far, or TikTok and Instagram. I'm really trying to push recently my reach. I want to try to see how broadly I can span my feelers by just producing content that makes me feel good and inspires you. So, I have to say, with this episode, I tried to, because Inspire N's been around for a year now. So, I tried to go back and listen to my episode from last year, and it was really eye-opening. I definitely realized that I have grown since last year. It was a little awkward listening to myself, but I have made some big progress in this business over the last year. And it's almost like if you've ever done a fitness challenge, you got to do your before and after pictures. Sometimes you don't realize how much progress you've actually made until you're looking at the evidence. So it's just a reminder, I guess, for you to, if you feel like you've made no progress or you feel stuck, if you have the ability, depending on what your goal is, if you have the ability to go back and reflect, you might surprise yourself on how far you actually have come since you first started, which is amazing, right? I'm reminding you this year that although this episode is all about setting goals and setting yourself up for the new year, the most important goal and the only goal we have really is that we want progress. We want to be moving forward. It doesn't matter how big or how small that progress is. The only goal is to keep going. So think about that when you are doing your vision, when you are creating your vision board, when you are setting your goals for next year. All right. It doesn't have to be overwhelming. It doesn't have to be scary. I have tons of resources out there, but you can use my stepping stone method to break it all the way down into something that you feel really aligned with and something that you feel confident that you can start taking a step in. But that's all you have to do. You just have to start taking one step at a time. And that is our only goal. So remember that. Another thing that I have to say before we move on is if you are feeling stuck or you are feeling stagnant in your goals, especially a goal that maybe you set January of last year and you haven't hit it, I want you to focus on gaining clarity in that goal. A lot of the time, when we don't achieve something or don't achieve it the way that we think that we're going to be achieving it, it's just because we're not 100% positive on whether the direction we're going to or what we actually want out of that goal. So a really simple example, which I share a lot because everyone can relate to the weight goal, is if you simply just said, I wanted to lose 5 pounds. Let's say that was your goal and you didn't lose 5 pounds, but you've been working out every single day for the whole entire year. I mean, you need to look at that. Like, maybe you look amazing, but you didn't lose 5 pounds. And so are you discouraged in that? You shouldn't be. Again, before and after pictures. So as we're moving into this next, or I should say the first portion of my tips for this episode, remember that. Be really, really, really clear on what you want. There's no judgment. The only person who's going to judge you is yourself. So release that and let that go and allow yourself to really dream and reach new heights, because that is where, I'm not going to say your happiness is, but if you keep downplaying yourself for others so that others may feel more confident or so that you know that you would achieve it, then you may be missing out on the joy of reaching the summit. That's what I'll say about that. So the first part of today's episode, or the first tip in our process, is going to be gaining clarity on your desires for the next year. Motivation and excitement are only going to get you so far into the goal. Sometimes when the going gets tough, those are not the things that can keep you going. You all have had that New Year's resolution that stops about mid-January, right? So like January 13th. You're all done. You're not doing the keto anymore. You're moved on from that. Just bring on the brownies. We'll try again in a couple months once the holiday season's over, right? That is why we have to build a vision, and we'll go through the rest of this process as well through this episode. But the goal of clarity is to paint a picture of what you want in the year, what your success looks like to you. Gaining clarity is the number one way I know to ensure that your goals are going to be accomplished when you look back at your 2025 season in December, just like how you are now. I have 2 suggestions on how you can gain that clarity. Number 1, my all-time favorite, is journaling. Journaling is a great way for you to unleash your imagination and be able to just flow with what kind of vision you've built in your brain. Sometimes there is just a disconnect between what you think your desires are and then like actually painting the picture on paper. And so journaling allows you to just kind of dump all that on the page, and it doesn't have to make sense at all. The key to finding clarity in your vision is ultimately creating a picture that feels realistic to you. Now, do I mean that I want you to keep your vision realistic? No, absolutely not. In my opinion, the bigger the dream, the better the chances are that you're going to be accomplishing these goals. Because if you're shooting for the moon, but let's say this year all you do is get to the atmospheric whatever layer, you're way farther than just, moving a county over. That's how I feel about dreams. I feel the bigger the better. So allowing your brain to just kind of develop this picture is golden, and journaling is a great way to do that. So when you're journaling your vision, take the time. I want you to just set your area up, have candles, less distractions, maybe some meditation music, hype yourself up with some affirmation meditations, and just journal, dump everything out. I want you to have such great detail. I want you to be able to smell the flowers that are in your garden outside in your perfect patio. I want you to be able to feel the fabric that's on the couch that's in your living room. I want you to be able to see your reflection of who you are, who you want to be in that mirror that's in your beautiful bathroom. Paint a picture. That clarity that you get from that picture is going to launch you so much farther than if you were to just set a couple of goals this year, keep them small, keep them realistic, and then reassess in December. You might hit those goals, that's great, but how close are you to that vision, to that dream that you keep living, right? You might have lost the 5 pounds, but maybe in your dream you run marathons. So are you any closer to that? That's what I mean about building this vision. We're going to be using this vision as a keystone to the rest of our prep for the New Year's. My second suggestion for you is to take that workshop that I have, How to Create the Life That You Live, or The Life That You Love. That workshop is going to deep dive into creating this clarity. You're going to go through the process of, number one, assessing where you are currently. Number two, creating your vision, but really using that assessment that you have to get the wheels turning so that you can kind of move forward. And then at the end, I walk you through and introduce you to the stepping stone method. So if you're wanting a more in-depth prep to the new year, I would suggest the workshop. Otherwise, journaling, I do feel like when I first started journaling, it was a little bit hard to kind of muddle through what I wanted. So I did create a free workbook for you guys. It's going to have journal prompts that are going to lead you all the way into that final visualization. So there will be a couple of exercises. It's not overwhelming. It's not going to take you for forever. One day you could probably sit down in 10 minutes and journal it all out. But I want to be able to give you a chance to use the resources that I have used in the past to create a vision. You deserve the same resources. And so I'm going to put it all together in a workbook for you. Easy peasy. So I will leave that link in my show notes, and I will also leave it on the website. So again, inspirern.com. You can check out the podcast shows. This will be in there, and it'll again be linked there. Again, I cannot stress how important these exercises are. So whether you want to choose the workbook or you want to choose doing the workshop, however deep dive you want to be, just do something, okay? Because you need a clear vision, a painted picture that you're going to go after when you go into the next step of prepping for the new year. So make sure you go and you download or sign up, and I will leave both of those here. The next step is the magic of a vision board. I know it sounds woo-woo. I have used vision boards, I want to say probably for the last 5 years. Annually, I do Angie Belmar's like New Year's live, and we do it all together, and she has like champagne or like a fun little drink. It's just a fun time. Every single year I do that, and I create my vision board, and I've really honed the process of creating a vision board. So I'm going to talk about it later, but I do have a workshop coming up where we will create vision boards together, similar to Angie Belmar, but much more in depth, because I do think that there is a little bit more of a process to the way that I do vision boards, and I love vision boards because I love to dream. But I have heard from so many people that, and I'm sure you've heard it too, or you may be seeing it now, vision boards are just, woo-woo, they're just wishful, nothing on your vision board ever comes true. And I say poo-poo to that. But I'm going to tell you that in my research this is when I first started thinking about the workshop happening. And I started researching because obviously I and you need proof that there's more than just a mindset shift that happens. Like there's like major research on how your brain works in regards to a vision board. And so when I started doing my research, I found Dr. Tara Swart, and she has a book called The Source. I'm still currently reading it. I'm about halfway through, but I've done a bunch of research on vision boards. And essentially, I'm going to sum up what she has to say and why she uses a vision board. And it all comes down to the research that she has done on the process of your brain interacting with like your mindset and goals that you can achieve. And essentially, she calls them action boards. But what she points out is that when you focus on something every single day, you make that desire, you make that a priority. And when something is a priority, your body and your brain just naturally make sure that it happens. Similar to something like habits, right? If you brush your teeth every single day, it's going to be a priority. And so then you're not going to be able to go a week without brushing your teeth because it's going to feel so misaligned for you. The same goes with the desires that you place in the vision board. If you make them a priority and you can see them every single day, then that gives you the opportunity to focus on those, right? It brings up motivation for you. The second thing that she has to say about a vision board is that vision boards are visual. And so some people are able to visualize their dream, which is why the journaling exercise is really important. It doesn't have to be perfect. We just want you to paint a picture that you can use and look back at and get reignited with. And the same goes for a vision board. When you can visualize this dream and you can feel that it's real and everything is coming to life, that is how you take action that allows you to make those goals a reality. I love, and I've said it today on my Instagram reel or something, but Gabby Bernstein, she's all about manifestation and mindset work. And her famous line is faith plus action equals miracles. And so that is what this is. You have the faith of the vision board that these things are going to come. They are yours. They're already with you. And then you start taking action from that same energy. And before you know it, you're there. So those are the two big points that I have on why a vision board is so important and why you need to start instilling them. If you've had trouble in the past with staying focused, or you feel like you've been stuck with what you've wanted to accomplish and you've never done a vision board, what do I always say? If it's not working, why not try it? You didn't do it before. You didn't hit your goals then. So why not try a vision board? What's going to happen? What's going to happen? You're not going to hit your goals again. And that's not, because I can tell you from experience that vision boards are really life-changing. Why I wanted to bring you a vision board workshop is because I do things a little bit differently. So I really enjoy quarterly vision boards. I just feel like it's similar to the stepping stone method. And you're basically taking that big dream vision that you created and you're just microing it down to something that you can like achieve now. So basically you can push them all the way down to like quick wins. I like to do vision boards on things that I can change and obtain like that. And then every quarter, once I've hit all those things, I move on and I make a new one. It keeps me aligned and it keeps me focused on the now and what needs to happen, because I don't know if you are similar to this. I like to go from 0 to 100, and then those little 2, 3, 4, 5 steps, bypass those. Except for when 100 isn't working anymore, and then you realize that you needed to do 2, 3, 4, 5. So then you have to backtrack. That is why I do quarterly vision boards. So again, in January, I'll be launching that workshop. We are going to sit down. We're going to have some strong coffee. We are going to do our prep work, and we are going to have our very clear, realistic, exciting, motivating vision. And I'm going to teach you how to go through. If you haven't done your vision, then I guess you can do your vision at the time of the party. But you guys listen to the podcast and you're subscribers. And so you're already going to have your prep work done. So you're going to be gung-ho and ready. I'm going to teach you my process, how I create the vision board. I'll have templates for you. It's just going to be a lot of fun. So the cart is going to open on January 6th. So make sure that you are subscribe to my email list and check your inboxes because I'm going to be sending you information nonstop about it. And then the official party is going to be January 15th. That gives you time to settle down from the holidays, have everyone go back to school, get a little bit more normal so you don't have the chaos coming into your vision. We don't want that. We want calm, confident, and collected visions this year. So my final step of the process is really keeping your eyes on the prize. Okay. So this is a very short section, but you've created your vision board, or you're going to with me at my workshop on January 15th. But you have to remember that you have to see this vision every single day. So I put my vision boards on my computer desktop. It's on both this one, and then I have like a second screen that I can like toggle back and forth. It's on both of those. It is on the background of my phone. Some people like to put them on their mirrors. Some people like to keep them at their bedside. Either way, however you want it, you got to see it every single day. You have to keep your eye on those desires. Keep them in the forefront of your brain. They are a priority. We are going after them. They are to serve you. They are to serve your family. They are to serve your friends. When you fill your own bucket, you already know what happens. So fill your own bucket. Make sure that you're hitting those goals in December. And this is meant to be a motivating topic. I don't ever want anyone to feel overwhelmed. And if you do, it's okay, because what we're going to do is, again, the stepping stone method. I love the method, which is why I really honed in on it. And it's just all about taking whatever goal you have and breaking it down so small into something that you know that you can go after and that you can do, because our goal is always moving forward, always trying. You're never stagnant. All right. There's always progress. So for the final portion, because I promised you I would tell you what is on my vision board in 2025. I have not done my prep work yet. I just wrote this episode. I love to dream. Again, I have my quarterly one. So there are some things that I did not achieve in my quarterly that will kind of float into the first quarter. I will probably make 2 vision boards this year. I will probably make a 2025 vision board that'll be big and grand. And then I'm going to be making a quarterly vision board because, again, like I said, I like quick wins. It's just how I work. It keeps me motivated, keeps me moving. But I have a couple of things. These are going to be I feel so vulnerable saying these. So I have a coaching program coming out in January. We're going to start meeting at the very last week in January. It's the transformation program. If you haven't heard about it yet, it's going to be 3 months of us meeting every 2 weeks. You're going to get Voxer access to me, which is a messaging app where you can message me at any time and I will answer you when it is appropriate, but or as soon as I can. But that way you have a ton of support. And really the goal of that transformation is for you to launch your program or a digital product. I want you to create your business that's going to give you your dream vision. And so it's going to be really intensive. It's going to be a ton of resources that I have learned. I am there for you. So my 3 years of courses of building this business, which, mind you, I've built 2 businesses, it's going to be all of my knowledge available to you. So I foresee you having amazing transformation in the new year with this new program. But that's what's on the forefront of my vision board, is this program coming to life and serving so many women, because I know that all of you out there are capable of creating the vision board that you've just created, but sometimes you need help. And this is exactly the program that I craved when I first started building this business, because I can't tell you how many times I just muddled through information that I had no idea what I was doing. So that's my vision board. Here's the vulnerable things, and no one make fun of me. I have a Disney cruise on my vision board because, number 1, I love Disney. Number 2, if you've never been on a Disney cruise, it is like no other cruise that you've ever been on. It's amazing. And only of my 3 kids, only 1 has ever been on a Disney cruise. And I've somehow tortured my children where they like play Florida, quote. That's what my preschooler plays. He plays Florida. He flies to Florida and he takes all his friends to Disney World. So I've really messed him up good. But so a Disney cruise. So a Disney cruise is on my vision board. I also would love an adult only, somewhere tropical vacation, just me and my husband. Tons of date nights are on my vision board. Just fun activities with the kids are on my vision board. Having more creativity is on my vision board. So I have big plans for 2025. I have made so much progress in 2024, I have to tell you, but that is what is kind of planned for next year. And if you come into the vision board workshop, you will know verbatim because we're going to make our vision boards together. So I'll share my vision. I will be vulnerable in that area and I will share everything that I'm going to be putting down and I will show you how I build my vision boards. So cart opens on January 6th. It's going to be, the vision board party is going to be January 15th. I want you to do one of two things today. I want you to either download that free workbook so that you can start building up your vision, or I want you to go through and I want you to snag the workshop. So again, it's the how to build or how to create the life that you love workshop. It's a 40-minute workshop. I'm going to take you through assessing where you're at, building your vision, and then I'm going to teach you the stepping stone method to break down that vision. It's a really, really, really in-depth workshop for the amount of time that I spent on it. 40 minutes, If you have any questions, please reach out to me. Again, you can DM me on Instagram at InspireRN. You can email me, but you should subscribe to my email list first. And yeah, if you're not subscribed to the email list, please do so. That is how you're going to be getting the early access to the cart. I'm really excited to create with you guys this year and give you all my quirky things out of my brain because they've been sitting there for so long. And yes, I have convinced myself, if you didn't listen to the episode last week, it was all about fear and stagnant, just allowing fear to kind of hold you back. But I convinced myself for so long that everyone already knew how to do all of these things and no one wants to hear from me. But I've kind of I've gone through my process and I'm of the belief that there are people out there who are waiting to hear from me, just like there are people out there who are waiting to hear from you. And it's doing them a disservice if I don't go out there and look like a fool. So here I am looking like a fool. Sign up for your free workbook, grab that workshop, and then make sure you subscribe to the email list. And I will be sending out invitations for the vision board party. It's going to be really fun. So have a great week. I will see you next week. Bye.